Hey, welcome back to Neff-Tekk. Today we are talking Thunderbolt 5 and USB 4.2. So if you got yourself a MacBook M4 Pro or a Mac Mini with an M4 Pro or the new Mac Studio M4 Pro, you have Thunderbolt 5 capabilities. So I did not buy a MacBook Pro M4 for Thunderbolt 5. I don't think I really have a need for that capacity yet. But this company, AOHi, sent me this Adonis cable here. So this cable claims to do 120 gigabits a second and 80, that's unidirectional, and then 80 gigabits per second bidirectional. So that's communicating back and forth 80 gigabits per second and 240 watts of charging. So that's pretty slick. So let's take a look at this cable and see what they sent me and see if there's any purpose or use for me to have a Thunderbolt 5 cable or just this cable in general right now. All right, so taking it out of the packaging, we got this cool little sleeve here. This little piece of paper in the box. Put that stuff aside. Oh, this is interesting. It's a little like silicone sleeve they put it in here. All right, that's kind of cool. I could see some uses for this, which I'll get to later, and why I think this is actually kind of a good idea. But I like the texture, it feels good. Okay, let's get the cable out of here. Ooh, here we go. Bright yellow, like a banana bright yellow. And a really soft touch and feel. So if you're like me and you're rocking a MacBook Pro and you're doing editing, you're working on photos and you're doing all kinds of media and you're constantly plugging in drives. I got the SanDisk G40, Crucial X10 Pro, and a Crucial X9 here that I'll be testing the speeds on with this cable to see if there's a difference and if this makes sense. So yeah, this cable, I use USB-C cables all the time. So I'm always plugging in my MacBook when I get to work to a dock station, or I'm plugging in my MacBook, to charge it, or I'm plugging it into these drives to do some editing work. So having a good, reliable cable really matters. So this cable here, let's take a look at it and see how nice this thing feels. It's got a little Velcro deal. It's like sewn on here, kind of so you won't really lose it. Let's see if I could take this off if it gets annoying. Yes, I can. Okay, I'm just going to take that off for now. Okay, it's about a 3-foot cable. Pretty decent. Okay. Man, the build quality feels really nice. And these little plug-in pieces here, metal. That's pretty nice. And I'm noticing here the cable, the little yellow sleeve extends out narrower and a little farther, which is really good for things like if you have a case on your phone you want to plug this into, or some other items when you need to plug it in. When this is too bulked up here, sometimes it does not fit well. So that's pretty cool. But this is a nice build, being metal and all. Oh, the cable feels nice. Cable looks nice. It's got a good girth to it. If you're anything like me, I have USB-C cables everywhere. What USB-C are they? 1, 3, 2, 4, 5? I have no idea. But this little sleeve kind of separating all your cables, knowing when you go for this cable, 240 watts, 120 gigabits a second, 8K, and what's this thing say here? It says it can do 8K at 165 hertz, 4K at 540 hertz, or this can supply 2 8K at 60 hertz displays or 3 4K at 144 hertz displays. So that is a pretty potent amount of data that this thing can push. They're saying here that this is compatible to Thunderbolt 2 through 5. So this works with Thunderbolt 2 through 5 all the way across the board, USB 4, USB 3, and USB 2. So that is pretty slick. It says that it supports external AI and VR and AR accelerators. So I'm assuming that when it comes to a lot of this new AI computing, this cable is going to be adequate for doing some of those bigger things. So that is a pretty sweet cable. It says that it has a 16-core coaxial design inside of this cable. So that is pretty cool. So you got your cool new cable and you're all excited because it's like you know, high quality, it's better than the rest, and you didn't spend $150 on the Apple cable, but this thing's only, I think, $40 on sale right now. So you feel pretty good about your purchase. You got your new MacBook Pro M4, you know, has Thunderbolt 5, and you're all excited about going and connecting it. But then you run into an issue, okay? You have just piles on piles of cables. So let's see here why this is slick. Let me give an example of why I see this little container making sense, or just the yellow cable in general making sense. Let me grab my daily carry bag. This is my Yeti bag, my daily carry. So inside of here, I keep all my cables. As you can see, bunch of cables and stuff. Okay, now I got all these cables, but I just need one, and I need one that's going to be adequate to be able to, you know, edit on my drive. And I go and I reach in my bag, and I'm just trying to grab a cable real quick. Well, as you can see, this is not going to work. This USB-C, this is like a 6-foot one, mainly I use for charging. Okay, not going to cut it. This is USB-C to Lightning. Yep. Not going to cut it. USB-C to USB-C, what grade or level? I don't know. This is what Apple gives me with my products. This here is my MacBook Pro charger. So that's got only one specific purpose here. So that's not going to cut it. Okay, let's get that to the side. Oh, yeah, this little dock here, that's not going to do it. Another USB-C and a watch charger. Okay, none of those are gonna do what I need. See, I thought I had a Thunderbolt 4 compatible cable in my backpack, but I didn't. So I'd have been shy of that. So I've got the cable here that comes with the drive, that came with this drive, and it also came with this drive, pretty much the same cable. So we'll be testing that. And then here I have a Blue Condor cable. So typically I have one of these in my carry bag to where I can, you know, operate this. This actually requires, I think, Thunderbolt 4. This doesn't work with lesser capable, like this doesn't work on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. It won't read this drive. It requires too much juice or something. So anyway, why this is slick, because now I got this big mess right here in my backpack, right? I got all these cables and stuff, and I'm trying to find just the one I need. But when I go in my bag and I slip my hand in there, you know, I mean, I don't even have to look. And you know what you're feeling for, you know what it is, and you know this is the one. This is the cable you need out of your bag. So I kind of think I'm gonna rock this sleeve. I think I'm gonna use it for that purpose. I could be eyes closed and I could, there it is, because of the sleeve. Another thing is this yellow. It really, really stands out. And when you've got a sea of cables, let me grab, I got another one here. This is my Thunderbolt 4 compatible cable. This is made from SanDisk or whatever. But you know, they all kind of blend in, right? They don't really stand out. Way to go to AOHi for making this bright yellow and really stand out. So when you just need to grab the cable that you know is going to work for everything across the board and then some, the bright yellow banana AOHi cable. So the AOHi Adonis or whatever they call it. So I like that. I like the bright yellow. I like how this stands out. I like the little carrying case. So that's enough about like the cosmetics and aesthetics. Let me get all that out of the way. And let's get into how this thing actually works. Let me clean off my desk a little bit here. Today, we've got the MacBook Pro M4 here. All right, so we're gonna plug in, let's start with the X9 drive. This is the slowest drive. So we're gonna plug in X9 drive to our M4 MacBook Pro. I'm going to start Blackmagic disk speed test. Let's see what we can get here. So let's plug this little bugger in. Okay, plugs in real nice. I'm gonna come all the way around to this side. Plug in over here. All right, allow to connect. Okay, so let's do a quick disk speed test. 1031 megabits write, 847 megabits read. I didn't even know this drive can go that fast. Let's test the next drive. Let's step it up to the X10 Pro drive. Let's see what kind of speeds this cable is going to get with the X10 Pro. All right, let's start. Okay, so, ooh, wow, that's interesting. The write speed slower than this cheaper plastic X9 drive, and the read speed is slower. Let's go to the SanDisk. I believe this is the G40 Professional. This thing is heavy duty, very nice drive. Requires Thunderbolt 4, pretty sure. And let's start the test. Wow. Okay, 2,721 megabytes write speed, 2,864 megabytes read speed. This thing is crushing. This drive is fast with this cable. This is the best I've seen with this cable. That's amazing. So stellar speeds. I mean, this thing is clocking fast. All right, so fantastic. So this drive is an excellent combination with this cable right out the gate. All right, so let's eject this one. So now what I want to do is I want to plug in this stock cable that came with my hard drives, okay? On here. Let's see what this will get. Okay, definitely the cable. 927 megabit write speed with this cable. 861 megabits of read speed with this cable. That's a huge difference. 930 megabits write. Okay, huge difference. So this AOHi, whatever this name, AOHi Adonis cable for $40, Thunderbolt 5 compatible, USB 4.1, absolutely rips with this drive. So let's end that test. Yeah, so you're talking almost 3 times the speed with this SanDisk G40, whatever, SanDisk G40 Professional drive. Almost 3 times the speed, pretty much 3 times the speed with this cable on M4 MacBook Pro. That's amazing. So when it comes to like moving large files, if you're like into video editing or anything that just requires high capacity computing, this cable is amazing for $40. And I just really like the feel of this like silicone soft feel of the cable. Feels good. Okay, so that was very, very revealing. Okay, so this is it, the AOHi The Future. The Future, it's called. AOHi The Future Adonis USB 4.2 240 watt, USB-C to USB-C, 3.3 foot, 120 gigabit, 8K, PD 3.1, Thunderbolt 5 compatible cable. All right, so yeah, it's $39.99, $40. Check out my links in the description below. I think they're offering a 15% discount with a code they gave me, like Neff-Tekk or something like that. So check that out in the description below. If you want to get 15% off from this company for this cable, they sent me a coupon code, so that's pretty cool. So I want to say thank you to AOHi for sending this to me. I did not pay for it. They're not paying me for this. They just shot me an email and said, hey, are you interested in reviewing our cable? We'll send it to you for free. And of course, I was like, yeah, please do. I'd be happy to make a video and talk about it. But this isn't just going to find itself kicking around some free product. This is going to become my new main cable for my MacBook. So I'm pretty stoked about that. This is going to go on my carry bag. This will pretty much be my #1 cable that I rock with my MacBook Pro. So I'm stoked. Thank you, AOHi, for your Adonis cable here, The Future cable, Thunderbolt 5 compatible. And if this is something that would meet your needs, or if this is something that you're interested in, yeah, I suggest picking one up. It's a good deal. It's got great build quality. It feels real good in the hands. But if this cable is something that you're looking for, if this solves problems that you may be having, yeah, I suggest picking this cable up. This may be the one cable that can declutter a whole bunch of the others, because you know what this is capable of. You know that this is going to meet all of the specifications and needs. You don't need to be confused as is this compatible or not with this or that. This cable will do it all. All right, thanks for joining me on Neff-Tekk. I hope you'd like this review. I hope you pick up one of these cables. I think you'll be pretty stoked if you do. I like the bright yellow cable. I like how it just stands out, and I really know exactly what that cable is capable of. So check out my links in the description below, and we'll see you next time on Neff-Tekk.